because I found when I tried to do it once it started, it was kind of like, and once you get these pieces on, the headband starts to get very bulky and weird, because you know, it's hard to lay down, it's hard to kind of do anything with them. Now, I don't know what to tell you about how to stack these things. I don't know if you happen to have like a round pillow or something big and round that you can kind of stack them on, but they become big and kind of weird once they're all together. So I don't know, they're not that fragile, but you don't want them like, you know, this is foam, so it'll bend. So I don't know. I just kind of set it on a bottle there. And you can kind of, if something is round, you can kind of go like that. I don't know, and stack them closer together. Hey, good luck. I'm sorry. I don't know what to tell you there. You did need to measure the headband because, like I said, once you start getting pieces and gluing things, it starts getting odd. So I figured out, and I marked it on this sheet of paper here, what you need to do. So there's, so the fins, these fins, the bottom is 2 inches. So I've marked it there. So you need to mark that spot. And then the center, trying to find the center is a bit tricky. But it says they're 5 1/4 headbands. In reality, the top seems to be like between 5 5/16 and 5 3/8. So, I mean, obviously when you find, you just want to find the maximum height, and that's going to be your center. So when you grab a ruler, and the bottoms of these headbands, I mean, these are cheaper headbands, so they're not perfect, but you know, see which one kind of seems like the straighter of the sides, which is this one, and find the bottom. And then as you look, as you kind of scoot it sideways with the bottom staying even with your 0 mark, what will happen is, and you can probably mark all of them at the same time, so you're not doing this many times, but basically if you go, it seems like it's almost the very center is, like I said, 5 3/8. And just take it and just say, oh, that's the highest height that I'm getting. Like if I go this way, it's shorter. If I go this way, it's shorter. So the highest height that I get, which is going to be just above 5 1/4, get it and then mark it. Since they're black satin headbands, piece of chalk works really well. Whatever you find that works, that marks it. Okay, and then for the sides, basically just kind of go like this. And this doesn't have to be as exact, but whatever way you figure out you're measuring 2 inches, make sure they're the same on both sides. And make sure they're not near the bottom, because it starts to be in front of people's ears. So 2 inches for the bottom. So I just kind of go like that, mark, and then the other side, do the same thing, kind of line it up so that it's, you know, the bottom is 0, and then whoop, you know, like that, so that you've got your headband marked. And like I said, go ahead, probably, since you're doing them, you're going to be doing 18 of these. I'm probably going to give you supplies for 19, but you know, if you mess up somewhere along the way, but just mark them. I would go ahead and mark them all at the beginning, because it's, you know, it's easier that way. Okay, so once you have your headband marked and it's ready to go, this is when you want to start gluing things. So I'm going to show you a blue one, and so you need both sides, and these are different. They're, you know, these are opposite, so you need one from each side, one from each stack, and you're going to want to glitter them. And one of the things but you know, I'm making these myself. So you're going to need an X-Acto or some sort of scoring, or, you know, something just to kind of lightly go through. You don't want to cut the foam necessarily. I mean, if you know, cut it a little bit, it's not a big deal, but you don't want to cut all the way through it. And I think even just the tip of a regular knife would do this just fine. You basically just want to do it enough so that the paper will tear there. Okay, and so this is your fin, and you want to start, you know, if the fin's going to be that way, that's fine. So you want to put the one that's going to be on the back side, you want to peel that one first. So peel it. And these move around a lot, you'll see. So it's pretty forgiving when it comes to that, I think, anyway. Okay, but you see how, because I scored that, the paper didn't come off there, because you don't want, this glitter foam sticks really well to itself. And it sticks to this amazingly well too. The part that doesn't stick so well, and I don't really want to demonstrate necessarily, but what this is thin foam board, really thin, and it's got 2 sheets of adhesive vinyl on either side, like what we use in a Cricut or something, you know, to put letters on a cup or on, you know, a board or whatever. And it sticks until it doesn't. That's all I have to say. So part of this design of this is so that the glitter foam actually is bigger so that it sticks to itself, so it totally encases this as much as possible, so this is not coming apart. That's not possible on the side ones, and so we have to do some hot glue action to kind of make sure it doesn't come apart. But that's why this is designed kind of wonky the way it is. So anyway, when you're lining it up, this piece is going to line up right there, the part that's lower, because this is the part that's hitting the headband. So that's the only part that I wanted not, you know, to be long enough so that the sturdiness of this material is sitting on top of the headband. Okay, so when you put this down, you're going to put it down, and you're going to notice, yeah, the glitter is bigger, but you're going to want to try to see, like, okay, I want it to, but it's going to be wiggly. And you're going to see, like here, this one's not lining up, but all of these are lining up. So we're just going to have to fix that when we're done. But go ahead and stick this. Boop, boop, boop. Okay, and then turn it over, and let's fix this one. And like I said, super forgiving. It just peels right off, and it'll stick right back, okay? So just get it to go in the right place. It's not really rocket science. You know, and it doesn't, even if that one was left where it was, it wouldn't have looked silly. So don't worry about it too much if it feels like, oh God, how am I figuring that out? Don't worry about it. Okay, so you see all this that's extra? That's perfect, because that's what we're gonna want on this side. So now we peel this one. Da-da-da. Sticky. Okay. And now we got to line it up with the other one. And I recommend getting the bottom kind of front lined up first, and then kind of, you know, kind of line up here, and kind of press the bottom, and you'll see there, so that they can glue together. Okay, and then start with the top, this front piece here, and line it up, just, and stick them together. Okay. Okay, and then this one again, kind of a little wiggly, boop. And yeah, you do want to try to press them together, because that's what's keeping, if you look at the top, this part right here is going to keep that foil connected, so it's not going to pop. Boop, boop, there we go. And I did the same thing, I squished it here. So all of that is staying together, so you're not going to have to hot glue it again. Okay, but you notice those pieces, they're not gluing together, so try to hold them apart there. Okay, And again, you know, mass producing these things, I kind of would go and just say, okay, I'm going to do all of these now, because right now this is fine. You can just leave this sitting around and just stack them all up so that you kind of get in the groove for each thing. The only trick is just keeping these blue ones separate from, you know, from the opal ones, just because you can tell the difference, but I don't know. They start to all look the same to me. So I'm not gonna lie. Okay, so after that one's done, now these, they're not symmetrical top to bottom. Okay, so they're stacked all the same way. So what you have to do is you have to take one like that, and you have to go whoop. Okay, so just make sure you do that, because these are not the same. Okay, and if you look at them, there's a curvier side and a flatter side. So you have to be like, okay, which is the curvier side? Which is the flatter side? And it's like that, the curvier side and the flatter side. So the curvier side should be at the top, though honestly it doesn't really matter as long as they kind of, you know, both on the side. It really, I mean, it doesn't look weird if they're backwards. You want to be doing this. Now, these overlap as well, but not on the side. So they line up perfectly on the side. So again, one of the things you can do is put this one down. Make sure you flip it over. So the curvier side matches the curvier side. So the curvier side of the glitter foam is actually a little thicker.